Welcome to the Caffeine Fix PHX.
The honor box outside sort of evolved from people not being able to get up here before we closed, so we started leaving it out there, and when we got moved in, I welded up a box that would hold about 100 bags of coffee with a mail slot, and it's gotten to the point where we sell so much I've got to come up here on Saturdays and Sundays and restock it.
This coffee story evokes the cool of Steve McQueen, the skill of a master craftsman, and the relentless pursuit for the perfect cup of coffee. And there's usually a motorcycle involved as well.
Hi, my name is David Anderson, here in Cave Creek. The name of my roastery is the Roastery of Cave Creek, otherwise known as ROC2.
Interesting location, set aside away from the kind of the hustle and bustle. Obviously you got beautiful views. Why here?
Oh gosh, I'm originally from Kansas, and I'd been on the East Coast living in Washington, D.C., working for a satellite communications sector of Hughes Aircraft, and I've got a brother who's been out here since the early 90s, and my parents sold their farm and moved out west of Cave Creek, and I got tired of wearing a suit and tie and dealing with the Beltway, and I thought, what the hell, I'm going to move to Cave Creek. And like you mentioned, we've got great mountain views. The mountain's been covered with snow every year I've been here except one, and it's just Cave Creek's this quirky little town. We got hippies, artists, bikers, cowboys, golfers. It's just kind of the
eclectic mix.
That show, Northern Exposure. Cave Creek's kind of the desert version of that show.
Let's talk about your coffee. You kind of pride yourself on roasting and supplying all over the valley. How did all that come to be?
Well, I had initially opened up a coffee house, and I had enough mad scientist in me that I bought a small 3-kilo, 7-pound roaster, and I wanted to roast my own coffee to be able to control the freshness and some of the roast profiles. And so the wholesale part of the business just sort of evolved from people that own restaurants coming in, drinking coffee, and said, man, your coffee is great, would you consider selling it? So it was just sort of an evolutionary process, and it came around, and we, after being open, I think probably about 1999, I opened up a wine bar right next door. We had 2 locations side by side, and 10 years of that, I had enough retail, and so I sold that property in the retail part of the business, and my sole focus now is just sourcing the best coffee I can find and roasting it to its optimum profile.
And that evolution, hence ROC to the second power.
Yes,
Roastery of Cave Creek.
Mm-hmm. Correct, yeah. The original company name was Cave Creek Coffee Company, and the lady at the bank got tired of writing that out, so she just started writing C to the 4th power, and when I sold that business, had to come up with a new name. I wanted to have an exponent in it, so that's hence the ROC2 for Cave Creek being squared.
Every time I come up here, it amazes me how many people are coming in the door or taking advantage of the drop box out front.
Yeah, the honor box outside and the window, the mail slot just sort of evolved. Weekday we'll sell 50 or 75 bags. I think the record's 112, so that's been a good thing. The locals like it. I've had people say you've restored our faith in humanity. So
you have. Talk about your coffee specifically. I mean, you really, I think, have kind of perfected the craft of blending and flavor profiling.
Yeah, we've of course always had a sample roaster. Anytime there's a new coffee, a new crop, we'll roast it to several different profiles. We'll blind cup it and figure out where as a group we think it shows the best. Different coffees take heat and drop temperatures better than others, and so we will try to get the optimum flavor out of any coffee that we bring in.
And I also have to mention, because it's back here, cold brew has become a thing, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Whole Foods had come to us here probably 3-4 years ago to develop a nitro and a cold brew program here for their Valley stores, and we spent a good 6 or 7 months trying to perfect the product with respect to initially figuring out which coffees to use, their roast profiles, and seeping times, grind densities, and I think we've come up with a really solid product. We've had a lot of people from around the country tell us it's the best they've tasted. So
There's so much more involved than people realize, isn't there? Just from, you know, a good cup of hot coffee to a can of nitro brew.
yeah.
There's so much differentiation.
I'm not a big fan. My wife and the employees are drinking up all the profits, but I like hot coffee myself.
Well, I brought my growler for a refill.
Okay,
That tells you something right there.
We do fill growlers as well.
So let's talk about that evolution. How did you go from people coming up here and loving your coffee to getting into all these different retail locations and wholesale?
I'd say fine dining and the restaurant industries are our bread and butter.
Word of mouth.
Yes, and
In this day and age of social media, word of mouth.
we're roasting coffee for like Chrissa Robertson, Chris Bianco, Mark Tarbell, Charlene Badman, and early on I thought, okay, I'm going to try to get in these great places, and a lot of the other people are going to follow in behind. But we're roasting for like the Sanctuary Resort, like Bertha's Cafe, just all sizes, yeah, LGO, Steak 44, the new Maple and Ash. So we've got a great resume of customers, and we try to provide service that's equal in quality as the actual coffee. All my customers got my home cell phone number, and if they run out of product on a Saturday or a Sunday, they know we're going to take care of them and get them product.
And people can, besides coming up here to buying your coffee fresh right out of the roaster, you've got a nice little setup in the little bar here too.
Yeah, we got a tasting bar. Me and a buddy built this for restaurateurs or chefs can come up and taste a variety of different coffees with different brewing methods.
Why the Vittorio Andruno?
I wanted something special, a work of art, and
It is.
and it's a quality machine. It's gravimetric, and it pulls a great shot of espresso.
You know, you're quite the Renaissance man. Besides roasting coffee,
Yeah, I've got I think 4 motorcycles right now, and I've yeah, and I just bought
Keeps
a
you
couple.
busy.
Bought a couple old tractors too. There's a tractor group that runs around Cave Creek.
you're not going to be running out of anything to do for a while.
No, the photography, landscape photography is one of my hobbies, and I'm a pilot, and this is just a beautiful place to live. The Southwest.
Absolutely.
I've been out here 23 years and can't imagine living anywhere else.
You know, we should also mention you have a fantastic staff here that kind of really keeps things going and hopping.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I am so fortunate. All of them are just superb. I get so much positive feedback. People that we've used Square for our credit card processing, every week I'll get 2 or 3 emails from Square where a customer has taken the time to log on and comment how good the staff is.
That's
and I can sneak away for 2 or 3 weeks at a time, goofing off, and I know they're going to take care of everything as good or better than I would myself.
Well, Dave, thanks for taking
Thank
the time
you.
again.
Thanks for
Appreciate
coming
it.
up,
It's a
Simon.
pleasure to come up here and always
Honored to be
enjoy
with
the
you.
view and the coffee.
All right, thanks.